Bam, bam, bam. You're not going to believe this.
Hang on, I'm drinking. What's up, bro? What's up?
I've got more likes than CCB Rogue.
Gee, I wonder why. Oh, hang on, let me drink some more cider, bro.
You're going to need it.
For this video, yes.
Yeah.
Hey guys, and welcome back. Welcome back to this week's video where Booker and I will be talking about a few things. Yes. Booker, say hi and introduce yourself, my good man.
Hi, I'm Booker. You know who the freaking hell I am. Why do I need to introduce myself for? Donut.
Because I'm drunk and I can't be bothered.
So some things never change.
Right, well, Booker, what I want to talk about tonight, mate, and I'm sure you want to talk about tonight, mate, is the new game Eve Valkyrie, if I'm thinking I'm saying it correctly in Icelandic, and you and I know it as Eve Valkyrie. My God, they got that actress from Battlestar Galactica who plays the role of Starbucks, a brilliant series and a brilliant actress to voice the female protagonist. God knows, no, Katie something or other. Brilliant actress, actress, however you want to say it.
In my day, Starbuck was a bloke.
Yeah, but this is modern. Get with the times, bro. She's a chick.
Oh my God.
Chicks are awesome at
Really?
fighting pilots. Yeah, bro. They get with the program, son. Get with the program.
Oh man, I've just made myself sound so sort of like 20th century, haven't I? So the new Battlestar Galactica has a Starbuck on it. That is a girl.
Yes.
And has it got Beedly in it? Has he got him in it? Oh come on, please tell me you know what Beedly is.
No.
Oh man, this is the little droid this little robot used to run around behind Starbuck in Battlestar Galactica in the sort of
Dude,
like 1980s.
that's freaking Star Wars. What are you talking about, son?
No. Mate, you need to go back to the old Battlestar Galactica when.
Dude, that's Star Wars. His name's R2-D2. I know. I watched him.
That's a completely different thing, you freaking donut. And, dude, oh goodness. Honestly, I'll tell you. Go look at it. YouTube it. Yeah, do you know YouTube?
No, fair enough. I just honestly think that Eve Valkyrie is going to be absolutely brilliant. It's going to be supplied via the Oculus Rift on PC and then Morpheus for the PS4. Alright, I know for a fact that is probably going to be the reason why I purchased the Morpheus and purchase Eve if it comes out as a fully fledged game. I am going to buy it, I'm going to play it, and I'm going to whoop some ass in it. Yes. What is your take on Valkyrie, bro?
Mate, I've been all over Valkyrie since last FanFest when it was all announced and released to people, and really properly excited when it was announced for PS4, which I thought meant all sorts of other exciting things, or
Yes, I will agree there. Yes, I got so excited about Valkyrie. I was like, ooh, dust, ooh.
Yeah. They
like a chimpanzee running around scratching his armpits. I was like,
well,
oh my God, if Valkyrie was that awesome, how awesome is Dusk gonna be? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what was really great. It was really great to see that another game apart from Eve at FanFest got a decent keynote speech. You have to feel for the guys that put their time and effort into that and made a keynote speech worth watching, and that was actually about their game.
Yes,
which was,
yes.
quite an impressive feat. Yeah.
And on that note, my good man, and on that note, we're gonna address a topic that I'm not too comfortable talking about. We're gonna talk about the Dust keynote. Yes, guys, the Dust 514 keynote. Booker, what would you like to say about that, dude?
Absolutely no 514 keynote at all whatsoever. So that was a pretty short conversation, really. But on the other side of the coin, there was a keynote, short though it was, for Dust or Eve Legion.
Yes, there was. Yes, 23, 24 minutes about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and we got some gameplay in there, which was all tiddly boo, and of course the big news from the gameplay and the again,
know what you're going to say.
You know what is the important news that came out of that gameplay. You know it, Bam. You know that. You know that it's coming.
What you're going to say, dude? I know. I'm just waiting for it. I'm waiting. I've been waiting for this. Come on, drop it.
I'm just building the moment up.
Drop it. Come on.
I'm just letting it swell.
Oh, shit.
And there it was. Trees.
There you go, Booker. They've given you a tree. It was on fire, nonetheless, but they've given you a tree.
Yeah, and it was a solitary standing there on its own tree. And I mean, let's face it, if you're big, fat, goddamn heavy, there's not much cover behind it, isn't it? You're going to be poking out on either side. But it was a tree. That is progress in my book. So I postulate to you that all the worries about dust are completely unfounded because we have trees and that's going to make it all good. Clearly.
Well, you know, what I'd like to talk about the keynote is that first things first, and I'll say this now, and I just want to say well done and congratulations to CEO Pyrex for getting 2 minutes off of the 23-minute keynote down to what seemed like an obituary type thing for Dust. I just wish there would have been a 20-foot sign saying bollocks. I just wish for that. that would have tickled me. Yeah, that would have been pretty funny. But you know, can't have everything. As you know. But yeah, Eve Legion, yes, there was no Dust 514 keynote, as you said. There was an Eve Legion keynote, and it was only 23 minutes long. And as you are very aware, Booker, the forums and fan pages, Dust IRC, just went absolutely nuts. Very toxic, and wow.
I will splurge my opinions on the world about the whole Eve Legion thing in due course.
You weren't necessarily prepared to talk the last time I produced a video. What have you got to say, Booker, about that? Come on, mate. Spill your beans.
Just to start with, okay, the manner, I think CCP shot themselves in the foot yet again. Just imagine the worst possible way in which you could have presented this news to the Dust community, and that completely overshadowed the fact that they're doing something really progressive and interesting. Okay, by doing exactly what they did.
Yep.
I completely get that they need to move forward with Dust, and I will go into that further in a little bit, and I pretty much agree with the fact that it's got to move on, but I'm just struggling to picture the board meeting where they sat down and discussed how to release this news to us in general, and thought that what they did was the best idea they could come up with. I mean,
good God,
pull
yeah,
my trousers down and shaft me
there.
bloody right flipping hard. That, you know what I mean? That was probably about as unpleasant as what I just described.
Yeah, fairly.
Mate, that was just horrific. It was a car crash. If they'd have just said, right, and here's some things we're going to be doing with Dust, just to make sure that you knew that it was carrying on, you know, to a certain extent. But the fact that they just cut it short and off they went. That was it.
When they did cut it off, I'm like saying, is that it? What? Yeah. And I agree. I cannot agree more. All they said was, this is Eve Legion. They introduced the 6 people from the team, half the team, 6, 7 people or whatever, from the development team. This is what we've been working on for the past 7 months. And don't get me wrong, what they've accomplished from the old Carbon 7 engine, alright, is utterly spectacular. Did you see that orbital strike? Jesus, I don't want to be anywhere near that thing. Okay, I completely agree. If they had worded it better, and not just cut it off completely and hadn't presented it as the Dust killer, I reckon they wouldn't have had 3/4 as much as problems they had on the forums.
No, absolutely.
And the community, and the IRC, and this, and the amount of messages I've got from people wanting to know my honest, true God opinion, and yours as well, Booker, is absolutely staggering. I've got about 400 messages through Google+, through my YouTube channel, and through my inbox, asking me, telling me, bam, tell us. And I can't thank you guys enough for doing all of that. It shows real feeling. Thank you very, very much. Booker, carry on.
That's all right, mate. So initially the announcement was a complete dog's dinner. So we've got to get over that. They handled it badly, but you've got to see over the top. So what we had then was Saberwing and Rouge and people pretty much putting out fires for the rest of the weekend.
Yes.
And I mean, as far as I'm concerned, because I took a fairly reasoned step back and I kept my eye on all the streams, I was watching the forums, and pretty quickly, and with only a couple of hours, there was information out there saying that all your kit, all your stats, all your character details that were transferable would go with you whenever the transfer to the new Legion on whatever platform it ends up in moved over. So this was one of the huge things that people were absolutely up in arms about, and that information got out there pretty early, but most people were so busy being rampaging on the internet that I think
they didn't stop and think, did they?
No. A lot of people just didn't get that news. It just didn't reach them too much. And with some credit where it's due, Rouge has been onto the forums a couple of times now, and he's explained further exactly what they're up to. This is what he actually says on one part. He said, okay, it's still, somebody asked whether it would go to PS4. Okay, so it's still pretty early to discuss platform expansion. As you saw, we are still working on the PC prototype at this time. But the PC architecture, and this is what occurred to me immediately, is it gives us the opportunity to grow once we have a great PC product at hand. Okay, they're not specifically developing for PlayStation 4 right now, but it's easy enough to do once you get that far along. And I'd really like to know if they're going to continue to develop on the Carbon engine or one of the other engines. I'm not sure whether the Carbon engine is the place to be for a first-person shooter.
No, I actually think it'd be Unreal 4, personally, Unreal 4. But that's my opinion, by the by. Anyway, carry on, Booker, carry on.
And he's also in the same post that he basically promised that you would not leave your Dust 5-on-4 players behind. You'd be able to bring your character name, applicable skills, and other elements of progression with you. So they've got a lot of details to work out. They've basically worked on a workable first-person perspective shooter demo that they showed us there, and I'm sure there's probably a few bits more, but the background that goes behind it, they haven't worked out on any of that at all. And you've got to remember that we were beta testing then, and we are still beta testing now. We've been beta testing for 2 years, for over 2 years, and it didn't change just because they said it was left open beta last May. That complete road. We've been talking about this for ages, Bam.
Yeah, I agree there. We have been saying it's a beta, and unfortunately, we both said we are beta testers for the PS4 because
true.
there's no ways in how a game can look this bad and still be a fully released game.
No, and it wasn't.
We've been saying it. We got that part wrong, but we only got it right, sort of thing.
We only just got all the racial variant suits. I mean, absolutely a year after release, and we're still getting some of the bits that are fundamental to the full game.
Yes.
So we've clearly always been in beta, but what we're now in beta, we know now that we're in beta for Dust Legion, and they've been developing it for seven months. So the little developer in Shanghai has been sitting in his corner developing away, just like we said, Ban.
And it was Praetorian, but he's not little though. That's the problem.
So they've been at it and they've not done a bad job at what they're going to do. And all right, okay, cards on the table. I am over the moon. I am over the moon about Legion. This is PS3 was always a dead end. Everybody knows that. That's not a surprise to anybody. The surprise is everybody expected it to directly go to PS4. Okay, now that's not to say that's not going to happen. CCP Rouge has left that door open. He's left that door open on FanFest TV, and he's left that door open on the post. They just can't say yes or no because it's not really been discussed at high levels yet, and they're just developing the PC prototype right now. 7 months into a project is really early on as far as game developing is concerned. It's only because they've ported the assets straight over from 5.1.4 that they've even managed to get as close as they are now to a working prototype.
Yes, I agree with that, yeah.
So it's fantastic news. Really, it is fantastic news. But do not get me wrong. I want to play Dust. I want to play Project Legion on my PS4. I play PC games, but my settee's far more comfortable than my office chair sitting at my desk, and PS4 I think deserves to get dust. We've been beta testing for all this time, and we've put all this time and effort into it, and I think its roots are in console gaming, and I think they should always bear that in mind when they're developing this PC prototype, that this should able to go back onto console. We know that the PS4 architecture is very PC-like now. It has basically fairly high-end AMD chipsets in them, and so developing for PC is not so far away for developing on PS4, which is why I would have loved them to develop in Unreal 4 engine, because that gives you the tool to go and then port into whatever platform you want to port. Now I'm sure I'm making it sound much more simpler than it is, but it's designed to be able to do that sort of thing. That's what these engines are for. And I've heard all sorts of stuff about people biomassing their clones and deserting Dust. Okay, Dust is still here. I played Dust because of the people I've met playing Dust, and I still talk with friends who have given up on Dust, but we keep in contact because that was how strong a community Dust made us into, and the people I game with now are all connected through Dust. Everybody I know pretty much from gaming I know through Dust from the last couple of years, and I would. Anybody who's out there thinking they're going to throw it all away and just move on to the next thing, is that they want to make the game that we always wanted Dust to be. And unless you're in it, you can't affect how they develop and what sort of game that they turn it into. If you want PS4 to figure in the future of Dust Legion, then you've got to be here to let them know that. So if all your console players bugger off and play PlanetSide or Destiny or whatever games coming out on PS3 or PS4 in the near future, then you basically leave it to the PC players. The guys who are playing it on PC are going to be saying, yeah, play it on PC. But if you're a console player, you leave your voice out. You need to stay. You need to stay.
Booker, to honest to God, mate, I cannot disagree with that. I am fully agreeing with you there. I honest to God do think that PlayStation 3 and Dust 514 on the PS3 was a dead end. We all knew it was. The PlayStation 3's got a, 2-year lifespan left, if that, maybe more. I could be wrong. Prove me wrong if I am wrong, please, guys. However, we incorrectly, you and I, Booker, as you said, incorrectly deduced that it would be onto the PS4. It's moved to the PC. Fair enough. If Dust has to die to progress on the PC, then so be it. Okay. You've pointed out a very good point that I actually want to talk about now. Everyone's talking about the game Eve Legion, the game that Dust helped build, the game that Dust is, the game that the community built. The developers didn't build the game, did they? Balls. We built it. All our efforts, all our triumphs, all our losses, victories. And the community that we built Legion. We are Legion, as I said in my previous video, okay? I did not play Dust for the first-person shooter experience. I will say that. I enjoyed the game, and I played the game because of the people in the community, in the Carbon 7, in the wider community, all the chats that I've been talking to, all the troll mail I've received and sent out, all that in itself is a community. Dust is adversity, and you build bonds through adversity, okay? What I haven't heard, as far as I'm aware, and as far as I've read, CCP, the CPMs, and anybody else for that matter, I haven't heard anybody talk about the community. Alright, this is what I would like to talk about. I'd like CCP to address this question, if it's not too much to ask. This is an honest to God response and request from myself, and I'm sure from a lot of other people. If you kill Dust on the PS3, you then sever the connection to Eve. Okay, you completely sever the connection and the relationships and so on, because you're sending everyone else to from the PS3 to the PC. Okay, people aren't necessarily all PC gamers. I'm sure a lot of people do have PCs, but not a lot of people do. All they've got is a PlayStation 3, and maybe in a couple of years they'll get a PS4. So you're asking a lot of people who's developed relationships, who's developed communication, teamwork and effort, to abandon their Eve connection, their community, they helped develop for near enough 2.5 years while Eve Legion gets put online and maybe connected to the PS4. And I totally agree with you when you say this, Booker. If you're not in it to win it, don't bother. You have to be part of the Dust 514 community. You have to be here to help develop the game and let CCP know every single day while Eve Legion is being developed and while Dust is being shut down that you want it ported to the PS4. Port it to the PS4, and I'm sure a lot of people will come back from the community. I'd like CCP to address that question. What are you going to do for the community that helped develop and help create Eve Legion? Because I don't feel that matter's been addressed, and probably why people have had such a knee-jerk reaction, because the delivery of Eve Legion could have been a little better. Yes, I totally agree. It wasn't probably thought out, and maybe they shouldn't have said it at FanFest. But that being said, it's happened. We need to get over ourselves. We need to get over it, and we need to look to the future. And the future is Legion. The future is on a PC platform. You've got to prove to them that there's a market for Eve Legion on the PS4. And I tell you now, I am going to do that. I am a console gamer through and through. I want my Dust. I want my Eve Legion.
Yes.
All right, there we go. Carry on, Booker.
No, you're absolutely right. I can't stress this enough. Do not go throwing your joypad out of the pram. And stick with it. If you want to stay on console with Dust, then we need to keep the console players involved.
Yes, totally agree, Booker. Just because I might sound a bit sort of frustrated now doesn't mean I'm anti-Legion. I am all for Legion. Bring it on. If Dust has to die for Legion to succeed, then so be it. I want to play Legion on the PS4.
It is the game we all wanted on PS4, absolutely.
Exactly. And, Legion is the game. CCP have given us exactly what we wanted. They have, no word of a lie. They have given the Dust community exactly what they wanted. Exactly. Not necessarily on the platform of their choice, but they have given the Dust community exactly what they wanted.
Yeah.
Better player experience, better Eve connection, better everything. A better game.
So that was basically our opinion in a nutshell.
Conclusions, dude. Conclusions.
Yeah, you've had our opinions in a nutshell. My personal opinion of the whole thing is that the concept of Legion is a great concept. We need to go where Legion is taking us. We need that for the progression of the game, for the progression of the story, the legend, the mixing in with Valkyrie. I really like their idea of basically having all these three angles, the Eve, the Valkyrie, and the Eve Legion, all coming together in some gargantuan. It seems to be. You see the trailer at the end of the CCP keynote?
Absolutely massive. I want to be part of that.
Join us in looking forward and being there for the new evolution of Dust into Project Legion, and don't leave it behind, because if you do, then
you'll be left out.
You will be left out, and it probably will be another PC first-person shooter, whereas
which we don't
could
want.
Be a real contender for mainstream acceptance into PS4, because if they make it look gorgeous, if they make it playable the way we want it to be playable, with fantastic PvE elements, then you'll have a game that's going to be contended with all the destinies of the world and all the Star Citizens and all the other amazing games that people are looking for, because I think some of this is a reaction to some of that. But if you want it on PS4, you've got to stay with us and begin a new journey. That's what it is.
Booker, my conclusions, dude. I don't have anything to disagree with you on. You tend to sum up things quite nicely, and I don't necessarily have anything to say from that. You tend to steal my lines all the time. But in my conclusions, with regards to this weekend, Eve Valkyrie, buying that game, buying Morpheus or Mobius, whatever, playing that game. Yes, I am. Awesome sauce. All right. Dust, wow, almost swore there. Dust keynote, weak sauce. If they voiced it a little bit differently, they wouldn't have had such a problem on the forums and the community in general. I'm not anti-Legion. It's done now. I am not anti-Legion. I am pro-Legion. Bring it on. If this is the game we all want, the developers have given us this game. Okay? We need to play this game. We need to tell the developers, PC, PS4. PC, PS4. Because if we don't, it's going to be, as you say, another first-person PC shooter that the consolers, where this game has originated from, get left out and sidelined, okay? Please, I want to know what you guys are thinking, or I personally do, because I gauge most of my opinions and form my opinions from what you guys say. I'd like to know if CCP would like to answer my question, and please point out where I am wrong, because I want to know where I'm wrong. What are you guys going to do for the community that created Legion? We created Legion. Legion is us. You're the developers. That's how I see it. Then that's where I'm going to leave this, Booker. And
we are your Legion. Okay, so I think that pretty much wraps it up. I've had enough talking about it. So don't forget, I will be in a reticule near you sometime soon. Bye. Bye.
For my fucking Caldari LAV. For my dropship in the air. But why is CCP shit? They promised me planetary conquests. But Nyan-san just kicked my ass. With those fucking Japanese laggers. I hate those guys. Oh. I hate those guys.
What a bitch!
I hate Nyan-san. And them dirty boys. Two. It felt like the real thing. Like dust was the real thing. Fuck, I spent like $500 on this fucking game.
I could have bought some good blow.
Oh god, I hate these guys. I'm so pissed off that they fucked this game, dude. Oh my god.
Oh god. Everyone should mute their mic, because I was like pissing myself.